Hello, it's been a while since I did a review. In this review, spoiler warning. If you don't want any spoiler at all, click away. Click away now. The Dragon Prince, a Netflix original. I highly recommend it. 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. I don't care what grading scale you use. The grading scale I'm going to use is I highly recommend you sit down and watch this show. It took every ounce of energy I could not to sit there and watch the whole show in one sitting. This show blew me away. The plot line of the show is there's a kingdom of humans and a kingdom of magical folk who have been at war. The humans decide, oh, it's a good idea to use black magic. And so the humans do, in fact, use black magic. Now, it's never really explained exactly what magic does in this universe, but that is not a fault of the show. Really, I think what the writers and whoever else wants to do with this show is the viewer understands how magic works as the characters understand how magic works. But anyway, the plot revolves around there's two princes in this kingdom. Well, in the human kingdom. And one is voiced by the same voice actor that done Sokka in the Avatar series, which is awesome because when I was seeing Netflix post teaser trailers on Facebook, a lot of people was suggesting that this reminded them a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender. But to me, it reminds me more of Tolkien's work because elves. But so you got the older prince, and you got this younger prince. Well, the reason why the elves want to destroy the humans is because the humans went and they destroyed one of the dragons, the Dragon King, and destroyed his egg, his only living heir. Or so they thought. Turns out, said egg is safe and sound. Now, you will, as soon as the first episode is over, you will probably point out who's the bad guy. It's the Archmage. There's no hiding it. There's no cloak and dagger. Nope. As soon as you see the Archmage on the screen, you're going to point at the TV and yell, bad guy. There's no hiding it. I don't know why he hides it. He practices the black magic. Yeah, bad guy. Very bad guy. But there's this really touching scene of a character, and I love this character already. Her name is Aunt Amaya, or General Amaya. She uses sign language to, I don't know if she's deaf. It's implied that she is, but when I first saw her on screen, I thought she may be taking a vow of silence. But it's later implied in the episode that she's actually deaf. But either way, she uses sign language to talk to the characters. And there's this really funny character who's her translator. And he's like, yeah, she says this, she says that. And I'm like, yeah, I like that guy. I like the tick. But Anna Maya has this really very touching scene. I do not know sign language. And I really wish there was an opportunity to have someone to tell me what exactly she said. But they go to this area where I guess the kings and queens are cremated on a funeral pyre, of all things. Very Viking-esque. But anyway, the she goes up to a statue of what turns out later to be her sister, the queen, who is the mother of the two princes, and she starts signing away. The translator doesn't speak. It is a very silent moment. All you hear is a little bit of the background music. And I really wish I knew what she said, because I don't know American Sign Language. In fact, I don't know if she's in fact using American Sign Language. For all I know, she could be using some sort of fantasy sign language, but I really do wish I knew what she was signing. But back to the plot. So the two young princes are being chased by this elf. Let me tell you, the elves in this so far have Irish accents, and I love that. I love it's not a general hoity-toity British accent. Nope. She's from Dublin, and she is going to flaunt it everywhere she goes, and I like it. They're being chased by the elf because the elf swore a vow to kill one of the main princes, and he's like, they go around the castle and they find this like hidden spot, and he shows her the egg, safe and sound. And you'll see this in the trailer. She sits up straight, she looks at the egg, she's like, this changes everything. So their main quest is to get the egg back to the Dragon Queen, so they can stop this. To stop this war. I think they said it was like 1,000-year war or something like that. I'm sorry. Um, there's so many details of this show that are going through my head. I've sort of forgot about that. I'm so sorry. But so the whole plot is to get Dragon Egg to Dragon Mother, stop the war, and hopefully peace will once again reign. The bad guy has two children, stuck-up dude, and a very weird daughter who is following in her father's footsteps and becoming a mage. The son is not so much. He's following in someone else's footsteps and becoming a knight. But the plot is what got me. There's this plot with the secondary plot with this bad guy who is trying to figure out what this giant mirror is that he found in the Dragon King's cave. He's tried every spell he knows, and they happen to capture one of the assassins, and the assassin just plainly does not tell him what the mirror does. He just says, finally, he just looks at him and says, "You've succeeded. You finally found something worser than death." But he doesn't say any more. So even as a viewer, we don't know what this mirror does, and we really don't know what the main plan is with this bad guy. We know he practices dark magic. We know he steals people's souls and squashes butterflies to keep young, I guess. But we don't know much about his backstory. Although, if my theory is correct, he's the one that actually came up with dark magic that you see in the first episode. That he's somehow used his magical abilities to keep young. But this show is highly recommended, and I'm almost out of time, so I can't really go further into much more. YouTube won't let me post videos longer than 10 minutes, but it'll let me stream for 2 hours. Weird. But anyway, very highly recommended. And if someone could actually tell me what Aunt Amaya says, I will be so happy. This has been Old Fox, and I'll catch you on the next stream or next review.